And give a very warm welcome for Mr. Steve Marshall coming to the stage.
Thank you everybody, thank you. Take a good look at me and you'll understand what happened to me today. I was walking down the street, I was in Times Square, just minding my own business, just walking, and somebody yells out, "Hey Ben." Do you get it? Watch again, watch, I'm walking, I just hear, "Hey Ben." This guy thought I was Ben Stiller. So I didn't know what to do, so I turned around and I said, "Hi, how are you?" Then he didn't stop. He goes, "Ben, I love all your movies." Right, I didn't know what to do, so I turned around and I said, "You know, it's fans like you that keep me in this business." Because I wanted to feel like a star. I do think I look like Ben Stiller, which I don't think is a bad thing, right? Not bad. My ex-wife looks like Harrison Ford. Nobody told me this. Nobody told me this. When you marry a woman, nobody ever told me this. When you marry a woman, you marry her entire family. When I said I do, my wife's family stood up. We do too. My wife and her whole family, you ever have neat freaks? I'm a slob. But why is it that sloppy people are always attracted to clean people? It's like, oh, what, right? Right, you understand, man. He's probably a slob and you're neat. Our wedding vows should have been, "Moth, do you take flame?" They were the neatest, cleanest people in the world. My wife, I would wake up in the middle of the night to go pee, I'd come back. She made my bed. It didn't work. Thank you for laughing. Thank you for laughing at my misery. It didn't work. I have a question. Anybody know this? Is it normal after sex for your wife to get up, get dressed, and leave? Because thank you, I didn't know anything about relationships. I thought that sex was the most important thing in a relationship. I was an idiot. I learned something. Listen up, guys, about women. The most important thing to a woman in a relationship is not sex. Yes, sex is very important. But the most important thing to a woman in a relationship is to make her laugh. Because when a woman laughs, it's one moment of the day we know they're not angry at us. How many guys know this? Women, when they're angry, they clean. Right? You come home, you have a clean house, you have one angry bitch on your hands. You see a sponge and a tush going back and forth, you're going to get flowers fast. I'm cheap. I don't send flowers, I send seeds. They're cheaper. I worry. Come on, you're real people. You're real people with a real budget. How many people worry about money? All right? Everybody worries about money, am I right? It started with my parents, all right? My parents were very, very cheap. My parents used to withhold taxes from my allowance. Other kids would ask me, "Steve, how much money are you getting for allowance?" I was like, "I don't know, take home or gross." Who takes FICA from a little kid? I found the loophole. I moved in with a rich family. I got paid off the books. It was beautiful. Am I better off? I think I am better off because I think if you grew up without money, you know what I mean? I think you respect things more. Like, I know this, I guess we were poor. I mean, my mother would save, at the end of a meal, my mother would save 8 peas in a margarine container. And then tell us there were people starving in India who eat that. Many years later, I was an adult. I went to an Indian restaurant. They said, "What do you want?" I said, "I'll have 8 peas in a margarine container." I remember growing up, we didn't have central air conditioning. Maybe we were poor, but my mother and father had an air conditioning unit in their bedroom. My sister and I lived in an Indian sweat tent. We came out in the morning 90 pounds lighter, bathed in sweat. We were doing a scene from Helen Keller, The Miracle Worker. Water. 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 And I would try and argue with my mother. I would say, "Mommy, we need some air conditioning." And this is what parents used to say. I guess if you're poor, she said, "Open the window. Yeah, you'll get a nice breeze." A nice breeze. Here's $2 for my allowance. Turn this place into a meat locker. My mother was tough. The old mothers were kind of tough. Do you know what I mean? I stole a chocolate bar from Waldbaum's, a supermarket, when I was 8 years old. I didn't really steal it. I was 8 and my mother was cheap. I knew she wouldn't buy it for me and I wanted a chocolate. It was a big chocolate bar. And I hid it in my underwear drawer. Well, I was a kid. I didn't have a safe deposit box. Like an idiot, I hid it in my underwear drawer. My mother cleans my underwear. What is she? She goes to clean my underwear. She sees the chocolate bar. She's furious. She corners me in the hallway of my apartment house. She goes, Steven, did you steal this? She said, Steven, did you steal this? She said, Steven, if you tell me the truth, I will never punish you. Did you steal this? And I said, yes, Mommy, I did. And she beat the crap out of me. She did lie. And in those days, they would hit you. My mother knew how to hit you. She would work the body. Yeah, and then when your hands came down, knock you out in the face. I was always getting picked on. I was that kid. I was never voted most popular, you can tell. Okay? I was the type of kid who, I had buck teeth. Does everybody know what I'm talking about? By buck teeth, I mean really bad buck teeth. I would eat a sandwich. I'd finish the outside first. You would just see the crust from the bread moving towards my face. And the part near my face never disappeared. And when I ate, crumbs would fall everywhere because my uppers were out to here and my lowers were back here. Does everybody get that? So these were chopping, but these were dropping. And my mother would clean up after me by hand. She didn't have a dustbuster. And I hear her curse me out underneath her breath. Buck-toothed bastard kid. Why did you build a dam with those beaver teeth? Phil, this is not a child. This is a hamster. Get a water bottle and some wood chips. We have a rodent problem on our hand. And she would say it so I could hear it. That hurt my feelings. I had to wear a night brace. You know, what do they call it today? I know what they call it. They call it headgear. It's headgear. Right? I had a harness strapped to the back of my head and a wire rim shoved into my mouth at maximum strength. And my parents would throw cocktail parties and let the guests use me as a cheese slicer. You're laughing. God bless you for laughing. You see, moms can be evil. I was always doing things, you know, oh my God, I was not a good athlete. I threw a ball like, this is how I threw guys like this. I used to throw like, yeah, that's a girl laughing at me, by the way. I would throw like that. And the other kids went, hey Marshall, you throw like a girl. I go, I know I do. My mother taught me. I was a right fielder when I was 8 years old. Does everybody know what that means? Yeah, thank you, sir. That means you suck. I once went out into right field. I forgot my mitt. They were like, don't worry, Marshall. You ain't going to catch it anyway. They hit a ball to me once. 8 kids ran in a panic. I was a terrible athlete. I broke my arm playing kickball. Exactly. How do you do that? I ran at the ball so fast, I wanted to impress the kids, and the ball, like at a Raiders of the Lost Ark, looked bigger and bigger and bigger. And I just went, I missed it. I went up in the air like Charlie Brown Kid and cracked my arm in half. Here's the best part. I didn't care I broke my arm. I didn't have any underwear on. I was out of underwear. My mother came to the hospital. I said, Mommy, call Daddy. I need underwear. Could you imagine calling your father at work? Not only can't this kid play baseball, he's got no underpants. I was always doing something really, really silly or ridiculous. I wanted to be a fisherman. I lived in Brooklyn, New York. I wasn't near the water. I had a backyard. All right, does anybody go fly fishing? Does anybody know what fly fishing is? Okay, do you know what it is? Yeah, you know what fly fishing is, right? So you take the pole and the lure, and there's a little lure at the end of it at the line, and you throw it out. And you sort of pull it back, and it dances around, and for some reason fish think that a shiny gold object or silver object with a hook is a fly. I don't know why. So the first time I take it, I throw the line out, I pull it. It comes right back. This is amazing. The second time I throw it, I pull it back, it comes right back. I've never done this before. I just watched it on TV on Gadabout Gladys, the Flying Fisherman. The third time, folks, I throw it, I pull it. I must have yanked it too hard. The hook is coming for my face. 9,000 miles an hour. And I have the bad buck teeth, I'm like this. And you know when you have that dream that you're in your underpants or your underwear and you're like, in elementary school, but your feet won't move, and you're like, come on, I gotta get out of here. I'm in my underwear. My feet wouldn't move. It was coming for me, and I said, you've got to move. You're gonna be wearing an eye patch. You're gonna be a pirate for Halloween the rest of your life. A buck-toothed one. Oh! The lure comes at the last second. God took care of me. I turned to the side. The hook went into my cheek. Yeah. I went into the house like this. I said, Mindy, get mommy. Tell her not to panic. This is what my mother sees. A pole, a line, and a hook in her child's face. She's in such a panic, she rushes me to the emergency room. She doesn't cut the pole off my face. I walk into the emergency room like this. Hi, I'm a big buck-toothed bass. Yes, I caught myself. Yes, no, I can't throw and I don't have any underpants on. Thank you for laughing. Thank you for laughing, because I think that's what humor is about. It's telling embarrassing stories. We have nothing to, does everybody get we have nothing to be embarrassed about? All people do this. How many people have done this? You ever slip on the ice? Everybody slips on the ice. Right? And what does everybody do who doesn't slip on the ice? They watch you slip on the ice. And they laugh. They never help pick you up, but they laugh. Then sometimes there's a guy like you who, when it's icy out, pushes somebody down on the ice so the rest of us can have a good time. And what do? You laugh too. Yes, we laugh. You know why? Because in America is built on laughter. Really think about what I'm saying now. Everybody who comes from a family, what do? You eat a lot and you joke a lot. Am I right or wrong? You eat and you joke. You eat and you joke. That's the United States of America, all right? It's the greatest country in the world. We let everybody in. Then we make fun of you. Am I right or am I wrong? If you got buck teeth, you better be ready to be made fun of. If you throw a ball like this, but it's a joke. Am I right or am I wrong?